Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. I am Ashley. I'm a homeschooling mom with 7 kiddos, ranging in age from 13 down to 2. I wanted to do a video today on what is the most rewarding to me as a homeschool mom. Now I have, going in order, I have 8th grade, 5th grade, 2nd, 1st, pre-K that I am currently homeschooling. I want to say my first things first, the most rewarding thing to me was having the courage to pull the plug and to pull my kids out of public school. Now, my oldest was going into 4th, so this is our 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. This is our 5th year. I always get confused. I have to count on my fingers. This is our 5th year of homeschooling. My second youngest was in kinder. And that was it. That is probably one of the most rewarding things, and probably one of the things that I am forever thankful that I had the courage and most proud of myself for, that I had the courage to do that and to take the first step. So if you are on the fence about homeschooling, whether you have kids in public school, whether you have kids in private school, whether your kids are not yet school aged, the first decision to make to homeschool your kids is the most vital and the most important. It is not taken lightly. It took everything I had, and I mean literally everything I had, to fill out the form to take them, to withdraw them for the following year. As I look back now, I don't even know how I did it, because I was so unsure. And I was unsure because it was the unknown. It was not knowing how was I going to teach. I do not have a teaching degree, which you don't need. But I do not have a teaching degree. I did not know how my kids were going to do, with my oldest being in 3rd grade. So he obviously had a little bit of public school under his belt. And was I ready to give all of that stuff up? All of that public school stuff up. That is one of the most rewarding things as it relates to me. That is top of my list. Secondly, teaching my kids to read. I did not think I could do that, because let me tell you that teaching kids to read is legit hard. And I think it really surpasses most homeschool things and most homeschool topics and most homeschool issues or difficulties that you might have, or roadblocks that might come about. Teaching your kids to read is not easy. My 3rd kid had half a year of private preschool before COVID, and COVID happened, shut down everything. I brought her home, and I had to kind of pick up where they left off and figure out what she really knew and what she was really absorbing, and finish the year myself. That was hard. And we had a little bit of a struggle in kinder and even in 1st. So she was in 1st last year, with reading and wanting to read. And then all of a sudden, it was like something clicked. And I was like, whoa, like she can read really, really well now. So I feel like I take partial credit for that, because I didn't teach her all of the things. She did have a little bit of preschool. My 4th, who is in 1st now, really struggled with letter recognition and sounds and everything like that. And he is now reading words. slowly, but he is reading words. And I take a lot of credit for that because he didn't have any preschool. I mean, obviously the curriculum, we use the good and the beautiful. He is on level K, not level 1, and my second grader is on level 1, not level 2. My two older are on their corresponding levels, but my next two are not. They are on the level below, which is a perfect level for them. But my older two learned to read a lot earlier. My second kid was reading in pre-K and kinder bridge. She was reading like chapter books. So you can't compare, but it was like I had one end of the spectrum and another. So that is a really top one of my most rewarding things as a homeschooling mom. The third thing that is the most rewarding to me as a homeschooling mom is to watch my kids interact with each other on a daily basis. Do they always get along? Heck no, they do not. There is fair share of fighting, fair share of yelling, and, a lot of things. But do they get to spend the whole day together? Yes. That is most rewarding for me to see, is for my older kids and my younger kids to keep that relationship going, because if they were in public school, they would not even see each other probably for the majority of the day. My older kids would be going from school to extracurriculars, and then they'd be going straight home, and it would be like 10 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night, like it is now. But they wouldn't have had any chance to interact with their siblings or anything. And so I am very thankful, and it is very rewarding for me to watch the relationships with them, whether they fight or not. You can hear them fighting now. Whether they fight or not, to have that relationship, the ups and downs of that relationship. The fourth thing that I think is most rewarding as a homeschooling mom is in regards to my oldest. My oldest is a teenager, and I get to see him grow into that teenage phase without all of the extras around him, without all of the extras of public school, of social media, of the crazy things that some parents just let their kids do. He is very family oriented, and I think that's because he's been brought up that way. It's not something he's not around an environment or in an environment all day that goes against the family unit and being with your family. He has never complained about being at home. And I think that's because I keep them busy in their extracurriculars. They are so busy afterwards, I say after school or in the afternoon, that they don't see this. They see this as kind of rest time, and then they get ready and go and do their thing in the afternoon, late afternoon and evening. And so that is kind of, that is a blessing, because I have watched him become a preteen, become a teenager, and not have the outside influence of public school that people are warned about. Let's just say that. And it is not something that I take lightly, being able to watch him grow up and knowing that I can watch my other kids grow into teenagers and being able to form them into the kind of people that I want them to be without the extra, in their ears. Super, super rewarding to me. And finally, the most rewarding thing to me, one of the most rewarding things to me, is to be able to teach your kids what you want to teach them in the way you want to teach them. Being able to see how they learn best and being able to cater to that. Do they learn best with read alouds? Do they learn best with watching a video and then doing the work? Do they learn best with audio? Do they learn best with just a one-on-one with you and them? Does it, does it matter to them? Do they care? Do they work better independently and they'll come to you if they need you for anything? Seeing the different ways that your kids learn. I will say when my oldest was in public school, he suffered in math quite a bit. And I think it was because he didn't want to ask questions. He didn't volunteer answers. And if he would just like skip a page if he didn't understand it. And so being able to, now he's really good at math. And me being able to work with him one-on-one and seeing what the issues are, if he's having issues with something, and figuring it out with him and telling him why. And just that one-on-one as opposed to one teacher and 30 kids is very rewarding, because I see the difference in how he was as a public school kid versus when he came into math as a homeschool kid. Now, it took a little bit of time and took a little bit of adjustment, but I think it turned out well into his benefit, because he does math a lot better than he used to. So that is rewarding, to see the different learning styles of your kids and to be able to cater to those learning styles how you see fit, and figure out what curriculum works best, and figure out just how they will excel and work off of that for each individual kid. So those are just 5 things that I feel like are most rewarding to me as a homeschool mom, that if you are on the fence about this, think about it. And I could think up a ton more, but I only did 5 today. Maybe I'll do a second part, but I just named 5. So if you are on the fence, or if you are needing some encouragement, let that be some encouragement to you, that there are plenty of other things, but these were just 5 that I thought of off the top of my head. Let me know, guys, if you have any questions down below, as always, or shoot me an email. It is also listed down below, and I will see you guys next time. Take care.